Hey guys, it's Pastor Brad here, and I really wanted to tell you how excited I am that we're closing the book on 2013 in just a few short days, and we're opening up a new chapter of our lives in 2014. I'm very excited. I want to tell you all the things that God has done, but we really don't have time for that. Here's a couple highlights that just stick out to me. We saw over 13 adults baptized this past year at River Church. How awesome is that? We saw thousands upon thousands of people interacting with people from our church and people from other churches around our state on the basis of the gospel. It was a wonderful time, different outreaches we had. You guys gave so generously. We surpassed our needed budgets for the year. We were able to purchase assets in upwards of $15,000 to $20,000 worth of assets this year. Thank you so much for that. Now, I know you have a lot to be thankful for in your own home. So just take a time, pause the video right here, and then come back and press play later and take time to thank God for what He's done in your home in the year 2013. Okay, hopefully you've pressed pause and hopefully you've taken time to give thanks to God for what He's done in your life. And now 2014. It says in Daniel chapter 1 verse 8, Daniel, a young man who was traveling from his home country to a foreign country who was being taken away, he purposed in his heart not to defile himself with the king's food and drink. And how awesome is that Daniel, a young man, just decided right out the gate that he was not going to waver over a certain period of time. That says something to me about us being able to set goals for ourselves, that God gives us the grace to look ahead and to determine things in our heart. To determine things in our heart that we will do or we won't do things. And of course, God willing, those things will come to pass. Now, we all know the story of Daniel, or maybe if you don't, turn to the book of Daniel and read it. But Daniel kept that promise in his heart. He purposed himself, and God gave him grace to do that. And he was a great shining example of what Christian character could look like in an area that was hostile towards him. Now, my desire for us, and my desire for myself, and my desire for River Church over the 2014 year is that we would become better with our Bible. Now, last year we said things like we want to pray, even if you can't pray, pray bad. Now, I hope you guys have gone from praying bad to maybe even praying better. The whole purpose behind that statement is just to get people praying, even though they don't really feel like they are spiritual enough to do that. And we saw people praying their first prayers in 2013, and that's awesome. Now, 2014 is we want to see people get better with their Bible. I want to read to you something out of Psalm 1, and it says this: "Blessed is the man who walks in the counsel not of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seats of scoffers, but his delight is in the law of the Lord." Catch that. His delight is in the law of the Lord. "And on this law he meditates day and night. He is like a tree planted by streams of water that yields its fruit in season, and its leaf does not wither. In all that he does, he prospers." It's amazing what God's Word can do for us in our lives. God's Word, God speaks through His Word, and if we read it, if we meditate on it, if we bring it into our daily lives, it's amazing how God can use that to change us and how we can respond to that. I want to read one more verse to you, and I'm going to flip there. It's in Deuteronomy chapter 6. Deuteronomy chapter 6, and I want to read to you this wonderful statement in chapter 6, verse 4. "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And these words that I command you today shall be on your heart, and you shall teach them diligently to your children. And you shall talk of them, and you sit in your homes, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise. You shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be like frontlets between your eyes. And you shall write them on the doorpost of your house and on your gates." God set forth unto His people, the Israelites, and said, "I want you to delight in my word, and I want you to place it everywhere throughout your lives." Not just buying the picture from Lifeway and putting it up in your home. He says, I want you to really consider, what does God's Word say about this area of my life? That's my desire for myself in the year 2014, is that I become better in God's Word. I become better in the Bible. And that's my prayers for our church. So we're actually kicking off the 2014 year by starting a brand new series called Follow Who And just like that, we're actually going to be looking through the Gospel of Mark and finding out who it is we're following, namely Jesus Christ. Thank you for taking time to watch this video. I wish you a happy new year, and I hope you had a Merry Christmas. I look forward to us celebrating all year long at River Church.